Sports Talk Tonight and streaming online at Newstalk, KGVO.com.
Well, my friend, Mr. Denny Bedard. It is warm. It is beautiful.
I'll say.
It is hot outside. It is Missoula on a Wednesday night at Sports Talk Tonight with Gerns and Bedard.
Yes. The Big Sky Conference preseason picks for radio announcers of the year. Well, I wasn't. You were runner-up, of course. But
yeah, I have been the whole time.
Kickoff event going on. A lot of important things to cover, like that.
Mm-hmm. Like we said, Sports Talk Tonight with Gerns and Bedard. We are live from the KGVO studios. Remember, we are streaming worldwide on newstalk.kgvo.com. On the AM side of the dial, 1290. On the FM side, 101.5. Follow us on Twitter at Sports Talk Back. Give us a shout, 721-1290. We've got a loaded show this evening.
Yeah, we do.
Joining us at the moment, we'll get to them in just a few, in studio, is John Yovetich, State Director for the American Legion. Kyle Cunningham, President of the American Legion. When I say American Legion, I'm talking baseball.
Yes, sir.
I'm talking Missoula Mavericks.
Yeah.
And Zanon Fulbright, a player to my right, sitting with us, and we'll talk to all of them. They got some big stuff coming up here in the near future. And
very exciting tournament next week. Trying to hold on to the number 1 seed. Big stuff going on this weekend too.
And the aforementioned, talking Big Sky Conference football, and they had their annual meetings down there in Utah. And joining us over the telephone will be Caleb Kidder, the preseason selection.
Isn't that something? Let's see. You've never played this position before. Let's make you the defensive player of the year. What the heck?
Right.
I mean, that's just what kind of a beast the kid is. I'm pretty excited for him.
You know what? And Caleb doesn't rack up the sacks, but has more tackles as a defensive tackle than I've seen in a long time. And you put him on that edge, and the double team's not going to be there as much, and going to give him a chance to pin the ears back.
You can bet Coach Seymour will come up with some. He's going to be fun to watch all season. Let's put it that way.
And we've had some pretty good success with some defensive ends here.
Yeah. There's been a couple of those picked as player of the year in the past, and one wasn't picked last year. Wasn't made player of the year in the conference. Just the player of the year nationwide is all.
Yeah, I mean, So go figure.
Yeah, I see your beloved Bobcats were chosen a little low in the standings.
Yeah, they're sitting there below the Mendoza line, below the. And that was probably generous at that.
Yeah. Is that for our baseball friends in here today? You had to throw that in.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Had to sneak one in.
Yeah, and Montana finished or picked to finish second by the media and the coaches. NAU first in both. Really close. Four votes separated for 4 points.
Yeah, the preseason stuff. It's just really like Coach Stitt said in his quotes. It's fun for the fans.
And it's crazy. NAU, and I did a thing one time. NAU starts out so hot most years, and they're 4-0, they're 4-1,
they have that history, yeah.
Blah blah blah, and then their winning percentage the first half of the year. I did like a 12-year period, about 5 years ago. The first half of the year, their winning percentage was like 700. The second half of the year, it was like 400. I mean, very reminiscent of the team in the eastern part of the state that can't get it done in November. But hey. Okay, I've got it out of my system.
I think some of that is, everybody, not everybody, but a lot of teams will schedule not particularly strong opponents that first game or two of the year, and I think Northern Arizona has really been guilty of that. I mean, who is St. Francis? Well, at least they're in the same division as Montana,
sure.
but Northern Arizona will schedule.
Well, they always schedule. They usually schedule ASU or Arizona, and then they schedule.
Yeah, they go on the road for a money game,
and then they schedule somebody you've never even heard of.
Sure, that's what I mean.
Like Highlands College or something.
Highlands Mesa Bluffs Academy. Those kind.
There you go, Denny. I want to get to our guests. Why don't we jump right into trivia?
Sure, we can do that. I will get everything set up here and good to go. Great prize package as always for Sports Talk Tonight trivia. If you know the answer, 721-1290 is the number to call. We are brought to you by Fuddruckers. You got a chance to win a $10 gift certificate to Fuddruckers. Hey, you can take Fuddruckers to go. They'll supply you the ground beef with that special seasoning in there, and you cook that up wherever, your barbecues, your family outings, picnics, stuff like that, and they'll provide all the buns and toppings as well. Fuddruckers would like you to try the new half-pound bison chipotle burger. 100% all-natural lean bison, southwestern spices mixed in, topped with smoky chipotle chilies, and pepper jack cheese. That's Fuddruckers on North Reserve. So $10 gift certificate. a deluxe car wash from Brent and the crews at Happy Days Car Wash, voted Missoula's favorite again on the Missoulian Reader Poll. And you can use that. They got both locations on Brooks. You can use your deluxe car wash at either location. And speaking of baseball, the Osprey, Missoula Osprey baseball, let's see, what do we pick out for you? A week from Friday, their game July 29th, and they're taking on the Helena Brewers. So we got Friday night baseball, 2 reserve seat tickets for you. So that's your prize package at 721-1290. Now then, we started to talk about this a little bit. The Montana Grizzlies picked to finish second in both the coaches and media polls at the Big Sky Conference football kickoff event in Park City, Utah this week. How many times do you suppose that the Grizz have been picked to finish first in the past 18 years? Have they been picked to finish first in the past 18 years? A, 8 times, B, 11 times, or C, 15 times. Just throw a dart at the board. How many of the Grizz have been picked to finish first in the past 18 years? Is that A, 8, B, 11, or C, 15? 721-1290. Can't wait to hear from you.
Give us a shout. We need a winner. Sports Talk Tonight is brought to you in part by Orange Street Food Farm, locally owned and operated grocery store featuring the freshest fruits and vegetables, fresh meats, and a great beer and wine selection. And by Grizzly Liquor, located downtown next to the Iron Horse. Big Sky, big selection, and online at grizzlyliquor.com. Danny, let's jump right into our guests here. Our guest, brand new sponsor this week, brought to you by First Montana Bank, your home for free Centennial checking plus unlimited cash back every time you use your debit card. Online at firstmontanabank.com. And joining us from the Missoula Mavericks, we have the state director, John Yovetich. Is that Yovetich? The president, Kyle Cunningham, and a player in the studio, Zanon Fulbright. Welcome, guys. What's going on? Welcome back, by the way.
Thank you. We're glad to be here.
You bet. You know what? We're gonna have a winner over here in a second. But how's it going? How is the season going for the Missoula Mavericks?
I'll just start. They're peaking at the right time. You were just talking about playing well at the right time. Well, these guys are doing just that. 17-2 in conference and leading the conference. They're first in the conference. They've got a 3-game series against Lethbridge starting tomorrow night, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. If they win 2 out of 3, they lock up the #1 seed for the state tournament, which starts next week.
Wow, and that's in Lethbridge? Is it here?
No, it's here.
Okay, it's here.
Yep. So tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, Friday night, 7 o'clock, and noon on Saturday.
Wow. And you say peaking at the right time. Not that I pay attention to everything, but I kind of noticed the start of the year was a little bit rough. Kind of playing 500 ball, but it really matters when you get to the league play.
That's right. And, Coach Hathaway, he times this. He's done this for 25 years. He knows what he's doing. He plays with the roster early on. He moves guys in and out. He tries to figure out who plays well together. Then he gets guys like Zanon here back from college, and he plugs those in. We get through a tough tournament out in Rapid, and by the time they come back here and they're in the midst of conference play, he's got them,
ready to roll,
ready to go.
Cool. Yeah. Well, hey, let's get to the phone and let's hear from our trivia winner, Denny.
Oh, we have a very, very special trivia winner tonight.
Is it Pete?
We do. Yeah. Zanon, you want to grab the mic? Can you hear through those headphones at all?
I think so.
Yeah. I don't know if you can. Can you hear any of the chitter chatter going on there, Zanon? Can you hear that? Okay, Zanon?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd like you to say hello to somebody you may know. Her name is Shirley Winchell.
Oh, Shirley, that's my grandma, my nana.
Yep, she confirmed that. Yeah, she said that's my little boo boo.
I've never heard that before.
How are you? How are you there, Shirley?
I'm fine.
Are you excited to hear grandbaby talk on the radio here pretty quick?
Of course.
All right. Well, for now, you're our trivia contestant. Oh, by the way, she said, Zanon, that I could just give you Shirley's prize package and you could take it to her.
Oh,
okay?
that'd be great.
All right. You take it to her. And
okay.
she knows, Nana knows what all the prizes are. Just say them.
Depends on what's in the package. She might not get it all.
Yeah, the Fuddruckers gift certificate. I'll bet that's in jeopardy right now. Hey, the Grizz were picked to finish second in both the coach and media polls in the Big Sky kickoff event in Park City this week, Shirley. How many times do you suppose the Grizz have been picked to finish first in the past 18 years? Is it A, 8, B, 11, or C, 15? What do you think, Shirley?
B11.
Yeah, amazing. This year's preseason pick, NAU, has not won a Big Sky Conference title since they shared one And that's way back in 2003. But to be picked that many times in an 18-year span. And then they've lived up to the hype a fair amount. So,
as Aretha would say, R-E-S-P-C-T.
I'm sure she would. Shirley, great job. I won't put this in the mail. I will just give everything to Zan, and we'll get your prize package over to you, okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Shirley Winchell, our latest winner. Gerns?
Yeah, congratulations, Shirley, and congratulations, Shannon.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's not very often that one of our guests has their grandmother.
I know.
How cool.
Yeah.
How cool.
I didn't ask her if she was a regular listener or was just listening because of you being on tonight. But if she's not a regular, hopefully she'll become a regular.
Well, she's listener number 17 now.
Yep,
so
we got him.
That's we're
double
gaining.
digits. Yeah,
we're gaining. Well, hey, let's get back to Maverick baseball. And while you got the mic, Zanon Fulbright, longtime member of the Mavs. What year is this for you as far as playing?
This is year number 5 for me, 3 on the AA team.
Wow.
Yeah.
And, as most sports fans know out there, you graduated from high school last year. You went away to college. You came back to play with the Mavericks. How does that work? Is it strictly a birthday age thing, or do you anybody get to come back after their first year of college?
Yeah, there's a cutoff date that kind of starts when you're younger. So, like, I played an extra year in Little League than, my friends in my grade. And that allowed me to come back for this year. So, if you're within a cutoff date, then you can come back and play Legion for one more year. So it's not like high school baseball. Right on.
And, you have had much success with the Mavs, and now you're over in PLU?
Yes.
And playing ball over there, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's gone well.
Is that how do you like it over there? How do you like the spring weather over there in Western Washington?
Well, it's rainy about 80% of the time, but sometimes you get a nice 80 Montana weather day, and you kind of got to terrace that and kind of do some stuff outside, but it's usually pretty nice over there.
Yep.
What influenced your decision to play ball there, Zana?
Well, I got recruited kind of at the end of my junior year by these guys, and I had a couple other offers, but I took a visit over to PLU, and they had a really nice academic scholarship package for me. So,
great.
And then I just decided to go there because it's a really nice academic school as well as a good tradition for baseball to go to. So,
tell us a little bit about the conference, your opponents. What is the opposition like over there?
Well, we have Whitworth from Spokane.
Mm-hmm.
Have a couple guys that went to Whitworth from Montana. Have a couple guys, University of Puget Sound from Billings, and then it's a really tough conference. It usually plays out well in the regional tournament. Like this year, we went to the regional championship because our team won the conference, so we got to play in the regional championship after winning a bunch of games in the regional, and we did really well. And teams from our conference usually do pretty well, nationwide.
Yeah.
Did you see a lot of time this year? Did you redshirt? How was your year?
We had a pretty old team, a lot of juniors and seniors. So I didn't get to see a whole lot of time, but they don't really redshirt unless you get injured. So I'll have about 3 more years to in the program
to make your mark.
Yeah, unless I get injured, which I'm hoping that doesn't happen.
Well, yeah,
yeah, me too.
And don't get injured this weekend or this week. Now the regular season not quite over. I know we're going to talk about the state tournament. Missoula hosting that for the first time, John, in 15 years, something like that. Missoula hosting the state AA Legion baseball tournament. Regular season's not quite over though, right?
Yeah, we got
a couple of biggies this week.
Yeah, I got a 3-game stretch with Lethbridge from Canada. Like John said, we got to win 1 or 2 to lock up first place for the state tournament coming up. So these are pretty important games.
And how does it feel coming? You've gone to a year to college and you come back and now you're kind of the old man and wiser and stuff. How does it feel different coming back and playing with the high school guys?
Oh yeah, it's a lot different because when I first came in, you kind of look up to the older guys, and then you kind of have to step into those shoes, and you kind of have to take on a leadership position. And I try to do that every game, and hopefully that pays off.
Right on. Hey, we're going to take a quick break here. We'll have more with Zan and Kyle and John from the Missoula Mavericks. We'll talk about the upcoming state tournament when we come back on Sports Talk Tonight.
Now back to Missoula's Sports Talk Tonight on KGVO.
Missoula Sports.
Every second of every day.
We're back. Sports Talk Tonight, brought to you in part by Bell McCall Ford. Great selection of new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs. Your low-cost auto dealer for over 100 years, downtown Hamilton. And by Jerry Wessel's Tire Center, the locally owned Les Schwab Tire Center provides the best tire value promise. Visit them online at jerrywesselstirecenter.com. Get back to our guests, John Yovetich, Kyle Cunningham, and Zanon Fulbright of the Missoula Mavericks. And we'll stick with you, Zanon, for a couple more questions at least, and then we'll talk about the upcoming tournament. You had a lot of success in baseball, and it's very surprising to me because I know your dad. And I've played softball with your dad.
You're mean.
Right fielder extraordinaire, let me tell you. We took a trip to Tacoma to play in a regional softball tournament way back in the day, and I went with your dad's team. And no, just joking, Kevin, owner of Access Fitness, where I used to work out before I got fat.
Oh yeah, you're such a chub.
Yeah, but anyways, Zanon, kind of cool that the state tournament is in Missoula for your last go around with the thing.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be super exciting. Hopefully, a lot of people turn out. And we got skydivers delivering the first pitch ball for the first game, which will be pretty exciting. And then we got like a local Mav legend, Cameron Reimers, throwing out the first pitch. So that'll be pretty cool.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's fun.
And speaking of the state tournament coming here, Kyle or John, why don't you tell us how that we've talked about before, but tell us how that came about and what people can do to help out if you still need help and all that good stuff.
I wasn't kind of privy to the selection process. I can't really tell you about how it came about. Maybe Kyle could, but we're squared away. We're ready to go. We've been prepping for this for a year. Started with last year's tournament. We went and visited, watched Helena, saw how they did it, and figured how we could do it better. And we've been planning the whole year with all the Mavs parents getting this together, and it's going to be a good show. So, it's just awesome on top of the fact the team's playing well.
Right on.
Also.
Yeah. And I know that that probably starts on a Wednesday or a Thursday. It's a long tourney, right?
It is. All the teams arrive on Tuesday. We have an opening night banquet down at Karis Park. It's just with the teams and coaches. And by the way, we were able to get Brent Musper to come and be the opening speaker.
No kidding.
Shut the front door.
Yep.
Wow.
So connections allowed that to happen, and Brent's going to be there. So we're very excited. Yeah. So he'll talk to the kids, get them all fired up. And then after the banquet, we'll move on to play on Wednesday. Wednesday night, 7 p.m. is opening ceremonies, and the mayor will be there, among others. As Zanon said, Cameron Reimers throw out the first pitch that will be brought down by silver-tip skydivers into the field. So it's really going to be a lot of fun, and we're just really excited about it.
Yeah, I haven't seen a skydiver in a long time, Denny.
No.
So that's good.
All right. Try to sneak into their, try to mooch some free food at their banquet.
Yeah,
that's your style.
I'll hold Brent's coattails.
Yeah, you claim you're the guy that's supposed to catch the skydiver. And, yeah, they'll. I got to meet Brent. Brent came into the studio this years ago, but he came into the studios to pre-record some stuff when he was with ESPN at the time, and he was touring in Montana. So ESPN Radio calls us and says, hey, we need, do you have ISDN capability? Not to get overly technical here, but do you have ISDN capabilities? Can you use your equipment? I said, yeah, sure, let him come on in. Very nice guy.
Cool.
Called everybody Laddie. Hi, Laddie. Hello. So if he calls you Laddie, then he hasn't lost that yet from late night. Talk a little bit about the facility, John or Kyle, whichever one. And also mention before we went on the air, we were visiting for a couple minutes, but how Butte figured into play here, helping out, getting ready for this the facility that is getting ready for the event. Yeah. Talk about that.
Well, we've got through the course of the year, we've been our seats. The original seats out there came from Dahlberg Arena.
Yeah,
and they were the old gold ones, which through the course of weather have turned into the white ones. And aside from the seats just deteriorating and falling apart, the outfielders were having a little trouble tracking the baseball off of those white seats back there. So it's been something that we've had on our radar for a long time. Butte used to have their baseball stadium down at Tech, Alumni Field they called it, and after I think it was about 2011, they tore it down to put in the AstroTurf at Montana Tech. Or anyway, they tore the field down about that time. And so these seats have been just sitting in storage. They originally came out of what we understand the Phillies ballpark in Philadelphia.
Really?
Yeah, and
wow.
And they bought them, 20 years ago when they redid something in the Phillies stadium. And so they're all in really good shape, but we ended up buying those from Butte. Butte is building a brand new facility over there, and if you get the chance, you ought to drive up on Copper Mountain and see that. It's going to be very impressive. It's going to look out over Butte and looks right out the pit. It's pretty neat. But
is it a multi-purpose facility, or is it specifically for their Legion baseball team?
It's specifically baseball.
Yeah, that's where they play their youth football games, up there on the top of the hill, and it's very convenient for me because it's right off the freeway, and then I get right back on and I'm out of there.
Yeah,
and you go right by Muzzy's.
Yeah, what? Where?
But anyway, we've been working throughout the year to install these seats. We figured there's 400 seats, and each one needs, either between 2 or 3 concrete bolt anchors, and so we've done a lot of concrete drilling, and if we never see a roto hammer again, we're going to be pretty happy. But we've got the team out there installing the last of the seats tonight, and so they'll be all in for this weekend to be ready to go. Since the team's installing them, you might want to sit down carefully the first couple times till we know how safe they are. But
so I imagine every player on that team wanted to be the guest on Sports Talk tonight this evening. I don't know how Zanon rated. I guess because he's got senior, he's got senior status, because he's getting out of at least an hour of Bolton tonight before he has to go back over there.
They haven't had a lot of days off this summer, and you don't have a lot of days off with the Mavs program. And my understanding was that the team was not incredibly overjoyed to get to come install seats tonight, so they can blame that on me.
But how great is that, though? I was talking to my buddy Rob Jewett, whose son plays on the team and has a maxed out performance auto repair down the road here. Was visiting with Rob for a few minutes yesterday, and it's amazing. Not amazing, but it's very impressive who you, the Mavericks, get to play during the course of a season that prepares you for tournaments and stuff like that. I mean, it's not like you just run around and play a handful of teams from Montana all year.
No, we had a 3-week stretch where we were in Lewiston, Idaho for a tournament, playing teams from all over Washington and Idaho. And then the next week we were in Medicine Hat, Alberta. And then the next week we were in Rapid City for 7 days, something like that. Survived a torrential downpour down there. And we saw teams from Vermont, from Las Vegas, from Colorado, Eden Prairie, Minnesota, which is always really good. The team out of Colorado, Pueblo, Colorado, they ended up winning it this year, and they were really solid. But we see 7 or 8 teams from all over the country down there, and it's a fun tournament, and it's just high quality competition. And I think that has a lot to do with why we're playing well now.
Yeah,
it gets you in the groove. So
sure.
Yeah,
and pretty cool to play against these teams too.
Well, yeah, great opportunities for the kids on the team. That's got to be, I don't know if I want to say recruiting, but that's got to be a good sales pitch when you got kids that are prospective that you'd like to be on the Mavericks ball club, and you say, hey, this is some of the stuff we get to do during the summer.
It is. I mean, it's, playing teams around Montana, they're no slouch. I mean, when we see the Scarlets and the Royals, and, Lethbridge is solid this year, and, I'll tell you, in our conference this year, there have been more upsets in the regular season. It could be just complete carnage when this thing starts. There may be upsets all over.
Yeah.
Because, even Butte, who's really struggling, they swept, I think they swept Medhat the other day. It's going to be crazy, I think.
Yeah. So Butte, now, did Butte not play last year? Or?
Butte, they played. They didn't make it to the state tournament. There's 10 teams and only 8 make it to the state tournament. Right. So the bottom 2. 2 years ago, they didn't have enough kids out, so they played an A.
Okay,
and they couldn't qualify for the A tournaments because they have too many kids.
Okay.
So,
okay. All right. Well, cool. So strong conference this year. Everybody, tough competition.
Yeah.
You
guys sitting in first place, obviously, got to feel pretty confident.
You also mentioned before we went on, you expect your largest attendance because of friends and family and all. The first couple days of the tournament's double elimination, but any indicators? Are you expecting pretty good crowds for that?
We are. I mean, I don't think there's a lot of other things going on next weekend.
Weather.
Yeah. The weather looks. Who knows what the weather's going to be? But the long range forecasts look really good. Kind of warm, and we're going to have a beer garden there, so that'll hopefully get Guernsey out there to watch a couple games. And
hello.
You act like you know me or something, Kyle.
Well, we may have we may have met a couple times.
How about local ticket sales? Do you just buy them there at the gate? Is there such a thing as a season pass, or how does that work?
There's a tournament pass, and you can't. They will all be sold at the gate. There, you can do a gate pass or a single day pass if you'd like. But we hope people come and stay for the day and watch all the games. Other thing is always it's American Legion baseball, so veterans are always free.
Excellent.
Hopefully we'll get a lot of veterans out there to watch it. The opening ceremonies on Wednesday night I think are going to be pretty fun, and we're just anxious to get it going. We've, as John said, and I want to just send a shout out to John and his wife Linda I appointed them as or they volunteered. With
which is it? Come on now.
kind of with a gun to their head, they volunteered about a year and a half ago to do this, and they have just worked their tails off. And they've done a fantastic job. Everything is ready to go. It's made people like me my job pretty easy. So
and your job's about coming to an end, is it not, Kyle?
It is. Yeah, it's time.
You're gonna maybe dust off the golf clubs and.
I actually joined the club again this year. Yeah. So
hey, remember guest next year? Think of me.
I know. I found out that my 8-year layoff from golf did not help my swing at all. So
flip it back over there to John Yovetich. I want to John. How did you get so involved? What was your initial interest in Legion baseball?
My son plays.
All right.
So that was it. As most parents get involved with it, if you've got a kid in the program, then you all of a sudden are
You just took on a little more than the average parent. Yeah. Is that because of Cunningham? Did he really fool you into doing all this?
No, I mean everybody pitches in. Every Mav parent out there is doing something significant to move the program forward, and I don't know. I just saw. I thought the state tournament would be fun. It'd be something that I could sink my teeth in and do well.
Great.
I do project management for a living, and so I thought this would be a good fit, and it worked out.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, you guys. I know it's going to be a good show. Quick radio roadmap for the benefit of those who may not know exactly where the ballpark's located. All of that stuff.
If you know where Westside Little League is, Big Sky High School, the Equestrian Park, so out there, South Avenue and Tower, in that general vicinity, where the old Osprey Field used to be.
Yeah, pretty easy to get there from, say, Spurgeon Road. You can go that direction and then go
Correct.
south.
Correct. Just watch the construction around the
everywhere.
The Fort complex going in out there. Yeah.
Wow. Awesome. Well, hey, you know what? I'm going to try my best to get out there because I haven't been to a game in a good while, and grab Cameron, and he loves to go out there and watch the guys play. And but hey, good luck in the tournament. Good luck this weekend. Zan and John, Kyle from the Missoula Mavericks, thank you once again for coming in and letting us know what's going on.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, guys.
Good luck, fellas.
All right.
Yep. Appreciate it.
Hey, go out there and get watching the Missoula Mavericks.
Bring a state title
this weekend, and also basically got a week full of baseball coming up here with the Missoula Mavericks out there at the park. So get out there and enjoy some baseball while you can. Hey, take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have Caleb Kidder on the line from the Montana Grizzlies. When we come back on Sports Talk Tonight with Gerns and Bedard.
Sports Talk Tonight, live from the KGVO studio.
Missoula Sports.
We are back. Sports Talk Tonight, brought to you in part by CHS Mountain West Co-op. Western Montana's source for Cynic's fuel, feed, fertilizer, clothing, and tech for over 75 years. Thank you so much to our guests in studio, John Yovetich, Kyle Cunningham, Zanon Fulbright, from the Missoula Mavericks American Legion, brought to you by First Montana Bank. I always love having those guys on, Denny.
Yeah, and of course you can really relate to this now. Your boy is how old now?
11.
Yeah,
11.
And
he's just getting going.
It's every sport. It doesn't matter what sport it is, but this is a perfect example of how dedicated the parents are, want to be, have to be, need to be. But it's just you can just hear the passion these days. Hey, my boy plays. That's why, and every parent does something, and it's just
Kyle said it best. He had two sons, one currently in the program, so it's about 8 years of Missoula Maverick baseball for Kyle, and he said it best. He said, you can't like baseball. You got to love, eat, breathe, sleep I mean, they play like 70 games in the summer.
Well, yeah, and I brought up that question just to point out where they went, and it wasn't only the competition they got to play. He mentioned like Eden Prairie, Minnesota, and then team from Las Vegas and several other areas too. But it's not like they're driving down Spurgeon Road to play the Mavericks. You got to go somewhere to play that competition. Granted, it's tournament format, and there's a whole bunch of teams in the same spot, but you still gotta pay to get. Still gotta get there.
You got to raise a bunch of money.
Yeah.
And Kyle said it too. Is these parents are dedicated. They work hard. They fundraise, and it's not just a baseball time of year. It's basically all year round.
Well, yeah. I mean, they start. I don't even know when they start during the spring. But.
And like John said, he said they've been prepping for this tournament here for darn near a year. Mm-hmm. And they went out. They went like he said, went to Helena the year before and checked it out and saw how they did it and improved on stuff.
I don't think we helped them with the major announcement, but I think the first time we had them on was just shortly after.
Sure.
They had got because for the benefit of those who may not have heard, Kyle and John have been on before, but it's been quite a while. And in view of the fact the tournament is coming up next week, well, we wanted to get them back in here and
if you've ever been to the tournament before, I mean, I think I was at it the last time it was here in Missoula, but it's just neat to go out there and see those kids play, and you get your favorites, or maybe one of them's your neighbor down the street, or the parents or whatever, and it's you kind of get invested in watching these kids go out there and play. And we've had some good ones, Ben Roberts and Riley King, just to name a few, Sopko and what have you, that have come through and gone on to the professional or the college ranks, and it's neat to see. Well,
and it's another one of those things. I think the Missoula Sports Commission gets involved a little bit, but they're trying to do. You hear this about every activity, every event that comes to town, but it's true about every event, including high school, or this isn't all high school, but pretty close to high school type of sports. It's the same as bringing in the state Class C girls high school basketball tournament last March. It's stuff that brings sports fans into town.
Oh yeah,
and they'll all you figure those first couple days when. Lots of friends and family members are here. It's a double elimination tournament, so you know that everybody's here for at least a couple days, and then it just kind of depends how it shakes out after that. But that is true of high school tournaments, high school basketball tournaments as well, and it's neat to see hopefully more and more of that coming into Missoula.
Oh yeah,
I know that Missoula Sports Commission's working hard on that. Won't be any high school basketball tournaments this coming season, the academic year 16-17, but there are some other sports that there'll be high school tournaments for. So we're starting to get more of that than we've had in the past. So that's am I supposed to, what is that, a conga that I'm supposed to do, or remember that? You're on Sports Talk tonight. We are hoping to visit with Caleb Kidder, defensive end for the University of Montana Grizzly football team, who was named the Big Sky Conference preseason choice as the Big Sky Conference Defensive Player of the Year. Montana picked second in the media poll, second in the coaches poll. Northern Arizona picked first in both of those.
And there he is.
All right. Let's see if I do that, and I do that. I think you can say hello to Caleb.
Caleb Kidder.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, sorry about that. You can call my phone anytime, but
hey, I just want to talk.
Well, hey,
this way people can hear you on the radio, Caleb. I mean, it's not just you and Gurns chatting.
Yeah,
this
perfect.
This is much better.
That's a coincidence, because we wanted to talk to you.
Yeah, no doubt.
Perfect.
Hey, just right off the bat, congratulations being named the preseason defensive MVP of the Big Sky Conference. The third out of the last 4 years a Montana player has been projected to receive that honor. So so pretty cool. Kudos, man.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
But I liked your response earlier on the phone, though. He said doesn't mean much. Now got to go out there and do it.
Well, yeah, you got to prove yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
And how cool and how much respect that not only do the coaches around the Big Sky have for Montana in general, but you as well. That it's widely known that you're switching positions this year, and they still felt that you're going to be the guy. How has that transition been in spring ball and getting ready for the season?
It's been going good. It was a little different at first, just moving from D tackle to DN. There's just so much space, and just it was a huge difference at first, but I played defensive end coming in here. I was recruited as defensive end, so it didn't take as long to get used to, but it's just an awesome feeling and awesome knowing that the coaches around the conference still, vote for me to be what they expect me to be at a different position. That's a huge honor.
Do you like that? Does that feel like it increases the expectations a little bit? Do you kind of like that little added pressure on you there?
I do. I like knowing what people expect of me, and I like to go out and exceed their expectations.
But, it's a win-win situation for you because now you got the pressure, and you want to make sure that you fulfill everybody's expectations. And if they wouldn't have voted you, then it ticks you off, and you're still fired up.
Exactly.
Yeah,
perfect way to put that.
Gurns, I think they're voting for the athlete, because if Caleb had stayed at D tackle, I think he probably still would have been the preseason pick as Big Sky Conference of the Year. But Caleb, does any particular part of the comparing the two positions, tackle to defensive end, has anything jumped out during spring drills that you're thinking, oh man, I like this defensive end part a whole lot better because of any particular thing?
Not taking on two guys every play.
Yeah,
that'd do it for me.
That is the number one thing that I like the most.
Well, and I made the comment too. As a D tackle, you're not supposed to get too many sacks, and you're really not supposed to get a whole heck of a lot of tackles. But somehow, some way, you found a way to shed the double team, and you were right in the middle of everything. It seems on every play.
Yeah, it was a great season last season. I'm looking forward to this one.
Now, as most people know, a couple years ago, you had the wrist injury and you had to sit out an entire year, and then you got injured a little bit last year.
Yeah, I had leg surgery.
How did when that happened? What was going through your mind?
I was devastated at first just because I sat out all of the 2014 season and was healthy come last fall. And then the very first game I get hurt and I'm in the emergency room and I'm told that I'm going to have to get emergency surgery right away. And I was just like, you have to be kidding me. Just going through what I went through with my wrist, and then I'm back in my very first game, I'm hurt again. It was pretty hard to deal with at first.
Yeah. Well, you seemed to weather the storm, so to speak, and it turned out you had a pretty decent year.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was. I was very lucky with that injury, and I had amazing doctors here in Missoula, so I got taken care of.
We're talking to Caleb Kidder, your preseason defensive MVP for the Montana Grizzlies, Big Sky Conference for that matter. Caleb, tell us how it feels, coming into the second year with this coaching staff and with a new D coordinator in Jason Seymour.
It feels really good just having all the pieces have starting to come together. Seymour is a complete boss. I love what he's doing with our defense. I'm just excited for everything that we have going on and just the atmosphere and attitude around the team. It's just everything's coming together. It's perfect.
Okay, now clarify that without insulting the coach too much. When you say a complete boss, what do you mean by that exactly?
Awesome. It means awesome.
Awesome. He's a savage. He's a stud. He is. Wow. He's everything that you would want in a defensive coordinator. He is.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Nice. How
nice.
And I'll ask the question, how does he differ from Ty Gregorak as far as what kind of defense is it different than it was last year? Is it different style?
Yeah, there's a little tweaks here and there. We're still 4-3, but just we'll be playing a different type of football for different formations. And you guys will see that the very first game. You guys will especially see it probably against Cal Poly and UNI. UNI is our second game. And, they're power football, and we just have things that Coach Seymour has brought to the table that we didn't have when Greg Rack was here. And I'm really excited to see how they work against those power football teams. And like Cal Poly, the sorts with the triple option. Because Cal Poly's always been, I feel like our Achilles heel. We always play Cal Poly tough, and all those games are always close recently. So I'm excited to try this new defense out on those type of teams.
Are you going to be doing a little bit of stand-up out there at the end position?
You're beating me to the question. I was going to ask him about Coach Seymour. You ask him about Coach Seymour. I'm going to ask him, well, you mentioned a 4-3, but is one of the defensive ends maybe going to be standing up a little bit?
Yeah, so I'm always to the wide side of the field, so I have the opportunity to either be in a 3-point or a 2-point, just depending on the situation. The weak side or the short side of the field, he's always standing up. Our other defensive end, Ryan Johnson. So he's always in the 2-point.
Always.
And then I'm also moving. I'm just going to be moving around. I'll play pretty much every position on the D-line this year. You'll see me at nose. You'll see me at tackle. You'll see me at end.
So we're going from a 4-3 to a 2-5 then, actually.
We're
that's good.
We're going to a Kidder 10. It sounds like to me.
Oh,
yeah, it'll be fun.
You know, it sounds.
And is that? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Is that by Coach Seymour's design? I mean, you mentioned you see some little tweaks compared to the way it was coached last year, but you see some major things. Is that part of Coach Seymour's scheme? He sees that in you guys capable of doing those things. Yeah, just with all the pieces that came. I mean, we have Connor Strom at linebacker. Our linebacker group this year is unbelievable. We had an unbelievable linebacker group last year, but I don't see any drop off with the linebackers that are coming in to play this year. Our linebackers are going to be good.
A lot of new kids, a lot of new transfers. How are they meshing with the system and fitting in with you guys?
Good. We got a couple new transfers on the D-line. They're meshing just fine. I know we have a couple new transfers. They're coming in at defensive back. We haven't seen them yet, but I'd assume that they'll be just fine.
Good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, hey, Caleb.
What are we down to? About 44 days or something like that? Today it's 11 and 31,
I think
42.
we got 5 Saturdays left.
Yeah, I think we got 45 days, maybe 45 and a half. I guess you have to say it that way because we don't play till nighttime. But it's Labor Day weekend, so that'll be okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I tell you what, we're it's sad to see the seniors go, but I tell you, every year kind of you get born again and you get to learn these new numbers and new names and I tell you what, Caleb, we wish you nothing but for you to wreak some serious havoc.
I appreciate it.
You got to be excited about that.
On a new field, no less.
That's right. I know. They start next week.
Yeah, we got approved by the Board of Regents.
Wow.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
That's pretty cool. And the cool thing is that your number's on the sideline, both sidelines.
Yeah, that's what I heard today, actually.
Yeah, on the 37-yard line in the coaches or just behind the coaches boxes, there's a number 37 on either side. Yeah.
Oh, nice. I had not heard that one. That's pretty cool.
And that's boss. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
for sure.
Hey, and for those of you that don't know, the number 37 is passed on to a Montana defensive player when that person's eligibility is extinguished. And have you given? I know you're not going to say anything, but have you given some thought as to who that's going to get passed down to?
Just a little bit.
That's more than I thought you would have got out of it. I figured you would have said, no, haven't had time to think about that yet.
Guys are offering to wash your vehicle.
Yeah,
and,
you got some new best friends.
Yeah,
and stuff,
No bribes. No, it's a good problem to have. I'm looking forward to taking a step back from this whole thing and making that decision at some point next year.
Wow.
I know this is asking you to go back, a few months now because, you guys haven't had an opportunity to start practicing again. Fall drills haven't opened up, so you kind of have to look back to spring drills. But you mentioned how excited you were about the linebacker core, and that was dang good last year. And you're saying, hey, there isn't going to be any drop-off. I'm sure it'll be a different style, but it's not going to be any drop-off. Are there any other parts of the Grizzly team that kind of jumped out at you during spring drills that you just can't wait to see them in game-type action?
Yamin Sanders is going to be good. Our whole entire I'm excited about our whole entire defense. Our linebackers, I think, are going to be great. Our corners, our safeties. But one thing that stepped out probably to me the most was our offensive line. Our offensive line has gotten a lot better this year.
Wow.
I'm excited to watch them play.
Wow,
Excellent.
and you would know.
Yeah,
and that makes you better as well.
it does. It does.
Awesome.
This is me.
Awesome. Well, I tell you what, we are looking so forward to the season coming
I'll
up.
say, man.
Caleb, we're going to have you on before the season, whether you like it or not.
Sounds perfect.
And we will catch up with you. Oh, I don't know, maybe the week before Labor Day.
Sounds good.
All right, man. Hey, continued good luck. Work hard, and we'll see you out there.
Hey, thank you guys.
All
Take
right.
care.
Thank you, buddy.
Bye.
Cool.
Caleb Kidder, preseason defensive MVP of the Big Sky Conference from your Montana Grizzlies, only on Sports Talk Tonight. When we come back, we'll wrap it up with a little steal and a little stupid of the week. We'll be right back.
Now back to Missoula's Sports Talk Tonight on KGVO.
Missoula Sports.
Every second of every day.
Yeah. Hey, we're back. Sports Talk Tonight. Boy, it's been a great night for guests. We'd like to thank John and Kyle and Zanon from the Missoula Mavericks for coming and talking with us. Caleb Kidder from the University of Montana as well. Good show, Denny.
You know, it's not like we Grizz fans need a lot of, extra added incentive to get fired up about the season. But when you talk to one of the players, one of the most highly regarded players on this year's team, most highly regarded by the Big Sky Conference, for that matter, named preseason defensive player, and he wasn't in here, he was on the phone. Prefer to have guests in the studio, but once in a while, it's good to have him on the phone. You could just hear it.
Oh, yeah.
In the phone,
oh, yeah.
How he just, I cannot wait, let me hit someone.
Yeah, it's like they want to say more, but they can't,
Yeah, yeah. And he handled that really diplomatically, too. You know, he did just very, very tactful. He's a great interview. Caleb Kidder's a great interview. And, but boy, you just start feeding off his enthusiasm when he talks about, you thought the linebacker core was good last year. Yeah, they were. No drop-off. Probably a different style of play, but no drop-off.
Sure.
Yeaman Sanders, who, what is he, a 6'4" safety or something like that? Big safety. The offensive line is that good. Are you kidding me? And he's just, yeah, they are. You start hearing stuff like that. It's hard not to get even more excited.
It is, Denny.
And of course, I'm even more excited about working with Scott Guernsey on the tailgate show, the pregame and the postgame. Of course, that's what I'm most anxious about.
That is true. Mm-hmm. The only official Montana Grizzly sports pre and post game. Anybody else would be just posers.
They'd be cheating.
Yes, they would.
The steal of the week, speaking of steals, brought to you by True North Steel, Western Montana's industry leader in quality, manufactured, and fabricated steel products. Scott Guernsey, steal of the week.
Steal of the week, definitely sports related. Not a whole lot going on, Denny, but as it's been announced, and we had kind of hinted on earlier in the month, the Montana Grizzlies are getting a brand new synthetic surface a year ahead of schedule. Just kind of worn down and what have you. And it just so happens that the Missoula County high school the stadium is putting in the same stuff. And they said, hey, as long as you guys are here,
buy now, pay later.
That's right. And they're deferring I believe they're deferring the payment until next year. And so Montana was able, I don't want to say steal's probably not the right word, but I'll tell you what, it sure feels like we stole an extra year getting that turf in, and that's just going to be one more benefit to the players and the teams coming in here, and another recruiting tool for Montana.
Well, and I believe it has something to do with the money game that we will play next year. Our season opener next year is in Seattle at the University of Washington. So I think that some of those funds, they were able to say, hey, if this company is willing to work with us this way, this is great. Let's earmark some of that to pay off the field turf, and I think not field turf, but whatever they're calling our turf,
synthetic surface.
Yes, our AstroTurf. Yeah. I'm old school. We're getting the AstroTurf back in here. No, the artificial surface. That's innovative thinking on that company's part. Hey, we're here. We know you.
Well, they're saving money. Traveling here, not having to travel again.
Yeah,
and they can probably, they probably didn't have anything booked to do anyways. Mm-hmm. That's probably why they're able to do it. So, anyways, that's my steal of the week.
So Scott Guernsey's cleverly crafted steal of the week. Brought to you by True North Steel, Western Montana's industry leader in quality manufactured and fabricated steel products.
Sports Talk tonight is brought to you in part by CHS Mountain West Co-op, Western Montana's source for Cenex fuel, feed, fertilizer, clothing, and tack for over 75 years. And you know what, Denny? I scoured the internet for a stupid athlete of the week, and I didn't have to go far, and it's a familiar name. And I'm just going to name this the Johnny Manziel.
No.
Stupid athlete of the week.
Yeah.
So get this.
Are you really digging and having to dig and scratch now just to get after Johnny, or is it just landing in your lap? I don't know about this one.
Little Johnny's been a naughty boy again,
All right.
Denny. He was in Hawaii over the weekend for a friend's wedding. Okay? And the whole wedding party, everybody's staying at the Four Seasons. It's the night before the wedding, and he gets into a fight, punches a guy in the face at the hotel, and a guy that supposedly he's had a history with. So I'm kind of reading between the lines, and I'm assuming it was maybe a teammate from Texas A&M that he played with, and they're at the wedding, and maybe it was a former player from over there or somebody from college. I don't know. But I found it interesting that the cops weren't called, by the way, but the next morning, Manziel sends a bottle of champagne to the guy's room with an apology and blah, blah, blah. I shouldn't have done that, yada, yada, yada. Mm-hmm. But you know what? How embarrassing at a friend's wedding to punch somebody in the face. I mean, come on. That's just tacky and dumb.
Yeah, you'd think that you'd think that a kid that won a Heisman Trophy and was considered a premier college athlete and was going to have a great future in the NFL. We know how that panned out. But regardless, you'd think they'd have a little poise. Yeah. I mean, I know he's still what, about 21, 22 years old?
Yes.
I mean, technically he could still be in college, I think, because didn't he come out after his freshman year?
Sophomore year, yeah.
Okay, well, he'd be done with college, but so maybe he's about 20, 24, 25.
I think he's 22, Denny.
Wow.
He was only in the NFL for 2 years.
Yeah.
So he, you know, it's funny though.
You'd expect a little more poise and maturity.
I think that he will be back in the NFL.
Somebody will.
I really do. I think he'll get his act together. He'll fake his way through and get in shape and what have you. Hey, more news on the Grizzly front. Travis DeCure signs a 3-year contract. He had 1 year left, and he replaced that with a 3-year, back-to-back 20-win seasons. Congratulations, Coach DeCure. Definitely something that the Montana Grizzlies wanted to get wrapped up there.
Once again, Board of Regents tested. Board of Regents approved.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's amazing when people use common sense with stuff. Which
I want us to be approved by the Board of Regents. I want this show.
Well, we know a regent. We know
a
regent. In fact, she's been a guest on our show before. So maybe we are approved.
Good call.
Anyways, Denny,
good seeing you.
Hey, have a great week.
Right,
have
buddy.
a good weekend. +40 state softball. Hopefully I'm walking when I see you next Wednesday. We're out of here.